Jai Hind to all. Myself Pancham Singh, Assistant Professor in IT Department, and I am going to deliver the lecture on C programming. That is, what is loop. So basically, in C programming, looping is very important for the C learner. So if I am going to discuss about the loop, so first the question is that what is the loop. So and second question is why we need loops. So in C programming, loop is very important part of the program. So if you are going to know about the loop, then how the loops is work, and what type of conditions are there, and how many types of loops are there. So in C language there are different types of loops. So I will discuss in next PPT. So these are the agenda points. So then third point, different types of loops we will discuss now. Some examples related to these loops. So if we are going to discuss about the loops, so definitely we will take some examples that will help to explore the types of loops, how the loops are working. And last and next topic is break and continue statement, how break and continue statement is work in C language. So the topic is what is loop. So if I am going to discuss about the loops, so loops are used when we want to execute a part of program or block of statements several times. So if we are going to execute a program in a recurrence manner or continuous manner, so we need the repetition of the loops. So because we are not going to write the programs so many times, so we need the condition of loop. So if we are going to declare the loop condition, since C programming will executing on that particular loops, and how many times the loop is going to true, on the basis of your program will work, or you can say you are getting the results. So loop is basically executing several times in the C programming, and next is it can execute a part of the program repeatedly till some condition. So if condition is going to true, the loop is going to execute, and when condition is false, the loop is going to terminate. And next point is a program loop consists of two segments, one known as body of loop and other is control statement. So basically program is divided into two parts. The first part is the body of the loop where the condition is declared, and control statement basically show the control part of the programs where we are going to declare the variables, where we are going to declare the different types, data types and condition of the programs. So it will have the two part, body and control statement. So body is the part of the loop where you are going to find out the types of the loops, and control statement is telling about that what types of conditions we are applying in the program and how the program is going to execute. Last point is control statement tests certain condition and then direct the repeated execution of the statement. So control statement basically is used to test the condition. If the condition is true, your loop is going to perform. If condition is false, your loop is not going to perform. So there are two parts of the program, or you can say two parts of the program in where you are going to discuss about the body of the loop and control statement. Now in the types of loops, so if you are going to discuss about the types of loops, so there are two different types of loop condition, the entry control loop and exit control loop. So entry control loop means the loop is performed at the entry level of the program. So where it is also known as the while loop or for loop. So at the beginning of the program, if the program is going to check the condition, and if condition is true, then your program will perform for the next level. Yeah, you can say control body of the program. So while loop and for loop, both loops are checked by the entry level, and some another level of program that can be checked by the programmer, that is exit control loop. So exit control loop where you are going to check the condition of the program at the end. If the condition is true at the end, then your result, you are getting the results of that particular program. If condition is false, you are not getting the result. So there are two different types of looping conditions. So condition first is the entry control loop and second is the exit control loop. Based on the nature of the control variable and kind of the value assigned to it for testing and control expression, loop may be categorized into two types. So counter control loops and sentimental control loop. So counter control loop basically when we know how many times loop body will be executed, that is counter. So we are going to counting the number of times the loop is going to execute. For example, if you are going to print a natural number 1 to 100, so how the number is going to print? The number is going to print on the basis of conditions. So it will first check the condition. If the condition is true for 1 to 100, then your number will be print from 1 to 100. If condition is false, then you will not getting the 1 to 100 print condition. So these are the numbers which are going to print from 1 to 100 by using the control loop statement. So in control loop statement there are two important points. The first is definite repetition. So definite repetition means number of counting of the loop is counted by the programmer, how many times the loop is going to execute, that can be declared in the program. Definite repetition is also known as how many times loop will be executed. So you are aware about how many times your program, your loop will be executed, that is definite. Second is control variable used to count repetition. So in control variables basically used to count the repetition, what code is going to repeated one by one, that is control variable used. So control variable basically counting the repetition of the loop. Next point is the sentimental control loop. So in sentimental control loop, when we don't know exactly how many times loop body will be executed, so that is called indefinite. The things we are not going to count, that is called indefinite repetition. Like your program is indefinitely is running, that is called indefinite. So we are not going to count the repetition of the program, that is called the sentimental control loop. In second point, when number of repetition are not known. So we are not knowing about how many times your program is going to repeat, how many times your program is going to check the condition, that is not known by the user or by the programmer. Sentimental values indicate end of the data. So basically we are going to divide it counter control loop and sentimental control loop. So these two types of control loops basically used in the C language, and whenever your programmer is going to write the program, so he will know about the conditions, and in condition how many times your loop is going to execute. On the basis of that we are going to define the conditions. So these two types of looping condition basically help for the programmer when a programmer is going to execute. Now if we are going to discuss about the loop, so the most important types of the loop is for loop, do while loop and while loop. So there are three important types of loop generally used in the C language. So first is the for loop. So for loop basically how for loop is work. So first is for loop, while loop, do while loop. There are three types of looping, and now I am going to discuss about the first looping condition, that is the while loop. So while loop is basically work. So while loop in C programming repeatedly execute a target statement as long as given condition is true. If condition is continuously is true, the while loop is going to execute. If the condition is not true, while loop is not going to work. So it depends upon the condition. If condition is true, your loop is working. If condition is false, your loop is not working. What is the syntax of the while loop? The statement may be single statement or block of statement. So if we are going to discuss about the while loop, so we have the statement, maybe a single statement or block of statement. what are the condition generally used in the while loop. So these are the syntax where while loop is work. So in this syntax basically we are going to initialize the variable. So in initialization part we are going to initialize the variables. In condition part we will give the condition. If condition is true, then your loop is going to execute. If condition is false, the loop is not going to execute. So it will enter inside the loop, loop and check the statement. It can only possible if the while loop condition is true. So basically condition based, or you can say while loop is a condition based statement. So it will work on the conditions. Condition is true, you are getting the result. Condition is false, you are not getting the result. And this is the flow chart, basically how while loop is working. So these are the flow charts we are going to discuss. So in flow chart, the first condition is first initialization is done before starting the while loop. So if you are going to execute the while loop, so first you will initialize the conditions. So what condition is there? Second point, condition of while loop is evaluated. If condition is defined, then definitely it can be evaluated. Either it can be true or false. So condition, in second case, condition will be evaluated. And third part, if condition is true, that is non-zero, then the body of the loop is executed. When the condition is true, the while loop is working and it will go to check the inner side of the loop. Next point is, again the condition is evaluated again, and if it is true, then body of the loop is executed again. If for the next part, or you can say in the second repetition, if the condition is again true, the body of the loop is again executed. In the third part, if the condition is true, then it can again be executed. So it can be repeated one by one when the condition is going to true. In last point, that is fifth point, when condition becomes false, the loop terminated. When condition is become false, the loop is terminated. We are come out from the loop. It means that till condition is true, you are getting the result, and after the condition is false, we are not getting the results. So it can work on the basis of preconditioning checking. If the preconditioning checking is true, your loop is working, other your loop is not working. So this is the flow chart. In flow chart it is clearly visible, you can say. So you move for the initialization part. So this is the initialization part, what you have initialized, and in the entry level it must be check the condition. If the condition is true, then your program is working. If the condition is false, your program is not working. So check the condition. If the condition is true, move for the next level, body of the loop, and you will go to print the statement. If the condition is false, then you will move for the out of the statement. So this is the flow chart of the while loop. Now I am going to discuss while loop by using the program. So if you are going to write a program to print the number less than or equals to 5, then how you can write a program and how you can declare all the conditions. So the condition is going to declare by using the programs. So in programs we are going to discuss about so first you will write the header files, that is include studio.h, conio.h. This is a library defined files already inbuilt in the C. Studios stand for standard input output devices, and conio stand for console input output devices. So you will start from the main, or you can say void main, the body of the loop. So if you are going to enter in the body of the program, so you will declare the data types. So what type data types we are going to use? So you are using the int I, so integer type data types. CL or SCL basically used to clear the screen when you are going to print the program, and now again you are going to run the program. So previous data will be deleted and you will get the new print. I equals to 1, it means that your loop condition will start from the I equals to 1, and it will go for to check the I less than equals to 5. So condition must be checked till I less than equals to 5. Initial condition is I equals to 1 and while condition is I less than equals to 5. So program will check till I less than equals to 5. If condition is true, your result, you are getting the result. If condition is false, you are not getting the result. So in the body of the program, so print %d and I plus plus mean I is incrementing for next value of the I and check the while condition. So you can see here I equals to 1 is given. So I equals to 1 less than equals to 5, the condition is true, we are getting the result. In second part, we are going to repeat the loop again. For I equals to 2, condition is true, we are getting the result. In the third part, the loop is going to increment the value of I and we are getting the value of I equals to 3. Check the I equals to 3, that is 3 less than equals to 5, condition is true. Similarly, next level, we are going to check the value of I, which can be 4 and the condition is true. Similarly, 5 less than equals to 5, condition is true. And next level, when we are going to increment the value of I equals to 6 and we are going to check the loop and 6 less than equals to 5, the condition is false. It means that we are getting the result till 5 because the value of the I is vary 1 to 5 and after the value of 6, the condition is failed. So you will get the result, or you can say you can get the output from value of 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So this is the while loop. So how while loop is working and how we are getting the results. So on the basis of that, if the condition is continuously going to true, we are getting the result. When condition is false, then your loop is going to terminated and you are not getting the result after termination. Now next topic is do while loop. How do while loop is work. So while loop and do while loop both are different. In while loop you will check the first condition, then you will go for the body of the program. But in do while loop you will enter in the body of the loop and at the end you will check the condition. So both are different in manner how the program is working. So a do while loop is similar to a while loop except the fact that it is guaranteed to execute at the least on time. So at the end you will check the condition. So if you are going to do the program, so you can write the whole program and at the end you have put the condition, and at the end if the condition is true, then your program is executed. If the condition is false, then you are not getting the results. So this is the body of the while loop, how do while loop, how do while loop is work. So similarly we are going to initialize, no issue. This is the declaration of the do while loop. We have declared the do while loop and at the end while loop is working, checking the condition. Condition is true, we are getting the statement. Condition is false, we are not getting the statement. So by using the flow chart, so we can declare how do while loop is basically working. So this is the flow chart of do while loop. In the first condition, first initialization is done. So we are going to initialize the I equals to 1 or I equals to 2 at the basis of the user. So we can declare the initialization part in the first level. Second part is body of the loop is executed and the loop variable is updated inside the loop. In second part, body of the loop is executed and we are going to update the variable in the second part. Now what about the third part? In third part, condition is evaluated in the while loop if it is true. So if the third part is condition is true for the while loop, then you will move for the next statement, that is true statement, and you are getting the result. If the condition is false at the end, then you can not getting the result. So this is the working flow chart of the do while loop. So this is the initialization. At the entry of the loop, we are entering in the body of the program. In the third level, we are checking the condition. If condition is true, then we are moving to the next level. Otherwise, you are not moving to the next level. So by using a program, you can declare how you are getting the results. So by using this program, so this is the program, we are going to print a number 1 to 10. So by using the do while loop, so basically this is the program, and we are going to initialize. We have initialized the value of I equals to 1, and we are going to check the condition of while loop, and if it is getting working, then we are getting the result. So we can print the value of do while loop by checking the result. So your result is 1 2 3 up to 10, because till 10 the condition is true. So this is the do while loop, and to print the number from 1 to 10. Now next important looping types of loop is for loop. So why for loop is working? So this is the declaration of the for loop, initialization, condition and updation, and body of the loop, and then statement. If the for loop is working, then we are getting the result. So for loop is different than while loop and do while loop. At the beginning of the for loop, you are going to initialize the value, we are putting the condition, we are updating the value in the form of the increment, and we are declaring the body of the loop, and we are getting the result. So for loop is different than while loop and do while loop. And this is the flow chart how for loop is working. So you can check the statement one by one. So first is the initialization state, second is the conditional statement, where you are going to check the condition of the loop, and again check the body of the loop. If the condition is true, we are moving to the next level, otherwise you are skipping the program. So some important points about the for loops, how for loops is work. So this is the way we can declare the for loop. Either you can increment I plus plus or j plus plus. The value of I plus plus j plus plus is working on the basis of initialization of I and j and conditional statement. So in C programming, basically if you are going to use some important books, so these are the books in the C language. The first book is the C programming by Kerning Brain, W. and Ritchie, Dennis Ritchie by Pearson. And next book is V. Rajaraman, that is very popular book, and which was published by PHI in 2015. And next C programming book, that is written by the Bikash Gupta by Wiley publication. And another important book of C is Rima Tareja, written by the Oxford University publication. And last one is the most important book generally used by the theory as well as practical part, that is E. Balagoswami, written by the published by the Tata McGraw Hill. And thank you so much.